Boy, look at that right there. Holy cow, that looks so good. Hey there, it's Pete, GCI Turf, and I'm in Catawba, North Carolina, out here, and I'm in the process of putting my synthetic putting green in. I had multiple different brands and manufacturers, they're everywhere. Just dozens of them. And I want to kind of tell you how I dialed it in to pick the one that I picked. So I got maybe 5 or 6 different samples from different manufacturers. And first of all, I just went by the simple look and feel of it. Does it look real? Does it feel real? All that kind of thing. And I kind of narrowed it down to 2, and one just really stood out, and that was the Synlon synthetic turf. And I actually ended up finding out that that's what they use in the TGL, the Tiger Golf League. I don't know if you've watched ESPN and watched that. That turf right there is the exact same turf that's on their putting green. And of course, their rough and all that kind of thing is this from this manufacturer. So I just figured if it's good enough for Tiger, it's got to be good enough for me, and I couldn't go wrong with that choice. And so I contacted the distributor, which is Southeast Turf here in Catawba, North Carolina, and they were willing to work with me. So I was able to, get some discount and that kind of thing on my turf in trade for some video work and footage and me telling you about the turf and all that. And you guys know I'm straightforward with you on all that, so I don't want to, hide anything from you. So I did buy the turf. I did have to pay. It's still pretty expensive, but I did get a break on the pricing for sure in trade for, doing all this and showing you the install and that kind of thing. So Southeast Turf, they are an installer company. They don't manufacture Synlon. Synlon manufactures Synlon, and they cover North Carolina and South Carolina. They're like an exclusive dealer for Synlon in my neck of the woods and in South Carolina. So if you are wanting a synthetic yard, synthetic putting green, chipping area, whatever, and you live in North Carolina or South Carolina, by all means, you need to hit up Southeast Turf. I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. So this will kind of give you an idea of what my green will look like. Now it's got 2 examples here. This is without a fringe. You can see it just goes straight from rough over to the putting surface. And you can kind of see the difference in the height right there. I'm gonna say that's about 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches, maybe more like 1.25 inches tall. It goes straight to a putting surface right there, which is, cut a lot shorter. And in this example, you have the rough fringe putting surface. So you've got really short right there. It goes up to about 1/2 inch, and then it climbs up to 1.25 inches. I pretty much got all my material from them. Here's the little flag and the putting cups and all that. I really wish I'd have brought my putter with me. I could have had a good time out here. But this kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like when I do the install on my yard. I have the fine grade work to do and then installation. So this is really going to be cool. I think it's going to turn out fantastic, and I cannot wait to do it. So let's go back here in the back. We're going to take a little tour of their shop, look at some equipment and that kind of thing, and just kind of get a better understanding of what these boys do. So this is the warehouse where you guys store all the product. Holy cow. This is pretty cool, man.
So we keep about, Synlon's got over 50 products, and we keep about 10 to 15 of them in stock.
Yeah. So you guys get the product from Synlon,
Yep.
Get a job,
Yep.
then come in here, pull the product you need, cut it to the length
that we need,
and how much stuff you're going to need, load it up and go do the work.
Yeah.
But this is crazy. You wouldn't think that there would be this many different types of artificial grass.
Oh, yeah.
And this is just from one company, Synlon.
Right.
you know, and then you got all these other manufacturers too. So it's probably just hundreds of actual different types of grass.
Yeah.
I think that was the one thing that drew me to Sinlawn. Well, number one was if it's good enough for Tiger Woods, it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know, number two was your backing that you put on it.
Yeah.
Or Sinlawn puts on it. It's totally different.
Yeah, that hive backing is just, it was partially designed by Dave Pales originally to help, you know, with the roll, and really the biggest thing it does is helps with your dimensional stability.
Yeah.
So, you know, you saw other samples and they have a backing on them like any other grass has backing on it, but if you really got a 1x1 of those and just pulled corner to corner, you can see how much they stretch.
Gotcha.
And that padding it helps provide more of a more stability, so it's not going to want to expand and contract as much.
Gotcha.
That's the biggest thing. It also helps it accept a shot a little bit.
And it has more cushion to it.
Correct.
It's just not a hard backing, so you have a cushion, so the ball will check and release and all that kind of thing a little more naturally like it would. So equipment-wise, these brushes right here would be used to stand the turf up before you put the infill in?
Yes. Yeah, so one of the final steps of installation is going to be adding that infill in there. And we use the brooms. We actually use leaf blowers more than brooms.
Yeah.
They're a lot more efficient, believe it or not.
A leaf blower.
Just a regular old leaf blower.
Okay,
And so
that's good to know.
That helps stand those fibers up and to work that infill down into the thatch of the grass. And then the brooms we'll use to help kind of work it in there after it's applied on top. But again, leaf blowers.
That's good to know.
Most of
Good to know.
We drop them
And drop spreaders, you can just put the infill in there and drop it out, and it just really makes it nice and cuts down on your work afterwards.
Right. Yeah.
By using the spreader.
Yeah, most of our equipment's on trucks and trailers today, but
All right.
this is kind of our backup stuff.
Cool. Well, you got something out there we can go take a peek at, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Boy, I like that T76 right there now. And just so everybody is clear watching it, you don't manufacture Sinlawn.
Correct.
Sinlawn manufactures it. You are Southeast Turf,
Correct. So
which supplies South Carolina and North Carolina, and you guys do install all over that area.
Yep. So Sinlawn is set up under distributorships. So different territories have different distributors. We have North and South Carolina, so we're the exclusive Sinlawn distributor for North and South Carolina.
Sweet.
So we have been for almost 15 years now. So
wow, that's cool.
Over 125 distributors of Sinlawn globally, we're in the top 10 for.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
We
install
about 700,000 square feet a year.
700,000 square feet a year.
That's all we do is artificial grass.
That's all you do is artificial grass. All right, 700,000 divided by 43,560.
Yeah.
That's about 16 acres. That's 16 acres of my property where I live.
Yeah.
So I live on 0.97.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of turf.
And I know the work I put into my little 1,000 square feet or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and we do everything besides large scale athletics. So we do playgrounds, putting greens, dog parks, multifamily, residential. We do it all. So
cool.
The only thing we don't do is athletic stuff. So
cool.
This is some of the tools of the trade. Our bender board or nailer board, which I believe you put around your putting green.
Yep. Yep. Like I did. Yep.
Just a Trex board.
Whacker packer for sure.
Yep. Our plate tamps and sod cutters are a big help.
Sod cutters.
We've got our track buggies, Georgia buggies.
This thing is nice. Oh man! So you can get in smaller areas, put your material in here, and the heck with a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Right.
The biggest thing is getting that stone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, rock's heavy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're putting 3 inches of 78 stone in every job. So every lawn application, putting greens get ABC and screening.
Yeah.
We use 70-80M or number 89s, whatever we can get. And so you're talking, even on a small job, you're talking 6, 7, 8 tons of stone that has to be put in.
Yeah. The heck with a wheelbarrow. You'll wear a man out in a minute doing
we'll
that.
do it, though. We use wheelbarrows a lot.
Yeah, I see you've got a whole stash of them over there.
Yeah.
So you're no stranger to a wheelbarrow.
And these little John Deere tractors help us a lot on residential jobs too, unloading material.
What is this, a 3 series? No, this ain't a 3.
I couldn't even begin it.
Oh, this is a 2 series, a 2025R.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2 steps under. I've got a 4075.
Okay.
But my tractors, it's too. I do ball field work with it. It's way too big to put in a yard like that. So these are perfect.
Yeah, and we've got a couple skid steers. We just bought one of those ASVs, so it's like a 4-foot wide skid steer, really small machine to help us get into backyards and stuff like that too. So it's a skid steer. It's about 4 feet wide. I can't remember exactly where we got it from, but all that's out on the jobs today.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And then we keep, we got some foam pads and stuff like that. We've got both of this shed here and that other shed there. Our infills, we keep 4 different types of infill now. We keep silica sand, EnviroFill, which is a name brand, OptiFill, which is another name brand, and T-Cool temperature control.
Yes, I learned that off a video or something, that some of the infield you can put down to actually keep the temperature of the turf cooler.
Yeah, T-Cool temperature control infill is really neat because it's sand mixed with an absorbent material, so it'll actually absorb water, and then when the sun hits it, it uses evaporative cooling to
cool it down. Yeah. So, of course, mine is semi-shade. That was the reason I didn't put real grass there.
Yeah.
So I don't really need the cooling aspect.
Yeah, we use that a lot. More frequently now we're seeing people replace their poles instead of doing tile against their poles and having tile decks or concrete decks.
Yeah.
They're doing from coping direct to artificial grass.
Yeah.
So places where you're going to have little
and
kids on bare feet.
That can really get hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little kids in bare feet. Synalon, our Super Yarn technology with its heat block and UV reflectors it's got in it will keep the grass 25 to 35% cooler than the competitors will naturally, just with the way it's manufactured.
Gotcha.
Synalon's what they call a yarn-to-yard manufacturer. So from very raw materials, raw polymers, to finished product is produced in one factory from back to front under one roof. So those will help a lot with temperature control, but that T-Cool, in places where you're going to have bare feet, little kids, things like that, direct sunlight.
Especially by a pool or something.
Yeah, because nobody's wearing, you're not wearing shoes in a
Exactly.
pool, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Helps keep it cool. So, but we got T-Cool in there. I think that's the silica sand, OptiFill, and EnviroFill in that one there. And then this is where we keep some just stone for the smaller jobs. We don't have to go to the actual stone yard.
Yeah.
This panel here is what's called an Easy Lock panel. So in places where you don't want to do stone or you can't get stone in there, you're talking rooftops or short access, you can put this panel system in there instead. It's a better base alternative, so it replaces that stone. Gives enough room for the turf to drain through and water to get through. But
so you would lay the turf directly on top of that?
Yep.
Huh.
So these panels all interlock together.
That's pretty sweet. And they flow with the grade if you grade it?
Yep. So people are actually building putting greens with it now too as well. So,
wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so just a couple different random, and all these bags are pieces of those other panels over there, which is our roof deck system. So we can actually put it on pedestals to bring it up to grade on a rooftop.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, I've definitely enjoyed the tour, for sure. And I think I would really like to, if you guys would have me, when you have a job closer, even to my area or even closer around here, I just like to come hang out with a crew one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just kind of, heck, I'll work. I'm not scared to work. I'll get in there and get it done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're happy to help you. We're trying to book now, probably for about the fall time, to do an installation seminar, so we can actually train people that want to get into artificial grass.
Okay.
Train them on how to install it, how to put down your base, put your seams together, your boards,
Okay.
and things like that. So
Oh yeah.
we'll make sure you get an invite.
I will be there for sure. Mm-hmm.
With that precision putt, you're going to want to make sure that once you cut it, that's your final cut.
So measure 4 times.
Measure 4 times,
cut
once.
Yeah, I might measure 5 times
Yeah.
and then cut once.
You know, I tell people flip it over on the back side and draw it out with your permanent marker, whatever you want to
Yeah.
use.
Piece of chalk or something.
Chalk
Yeah.
works best. Draw it out and then stand there and look at it. Make sure that's the shape you
Just
want.
look and look, yeah.
And just triple check. You know, let it. I told people before, like when we're installing on their actual yards, the guys will do the same thing. They'll draw it out, or use a rope or garden hose, whatever, get
Yeah.
a general shape. And we're going to leave it there tonight, and we'll cut it tomorrow so that you can go out there tonight.
Think about it, sleep on it, look at it. Because once you cut it,
it's done.
it's a done deal.
Yeah.
And something else I want to go over right quick is I've watched a lot of install videos, read a lot about different things, and most companies use a nail or spike or something to tack it down after they kick it and tighten it, but you guys don't.
We do not. Yeah.
You simply use the infill to
The
weight
infield's
it
gonna
down.
Weigh it down. All of our putting greens are built that way. What people don't think about when they're stretching out artificial grass, they're kicking it, they're treating it like carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Carpet is acclimated inside your house where the temperature changes are going to vary by like 2 or 3 degrees
Right.
most of the year round, right? Turf is outside where, like today in beautiful North Carolina, it was 28 degrees when I left the house this morning. I'm sweating out here now because
Yeah.
it's 80 degrees.
Yep.
So that turf is going to expand and contract naturally with those temperature changes.
And let me guess, you don't want nails restricting that.
Correct, because so you've got a seam on a very thin piece of material for your putting green that you're seaming your fringe and rough to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's one point of stress, and then you're going to nail it on this outside. There's your second point of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first place it's going to want to fail is at that rough and putting green point, because that's the weakest point there. So, and as it expands and contracts, so if you just all you do is glue and cement together, that glue and seam tape will give it enough to expand and contract as it needs to. And plus, as long as you don't kick it and pull it super tight, then it's naturally going to have some leniency in the middle of it as well.
Yeah. Not to mention, it's probably considerably easier to install that way.
Absolutely.
Physically. Because you don't have to get on your knees and kick the carpet thing and drive 800 nails.
Right.
So I'm going to be doing it your way.
Yeah.
The easier the better. I'm good with that.
Cool.
So,
All right.
good deal. Well, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate
Pleasure.
it. We'll go left hand. I got the camera in my
Good,
right.
sir.
Yeah.
If you need anything else, give us a shout.
Sure.
Cool deal.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good weekend. All right, there you go. Got my truck and trailer loaded up. Got my infill. I got my putting surface, rough and fringe surfaces. So now I got to get this back to the shop, and I will probably in the next week do the fine grading work, and then shortly thereafter go ahead and lay the material down. I've actually got a dude that's going to help me, and this guy's got some experience doing this kind of work, so he's going to come over like on a weekend, a Saturday, and help me, because like I said, it's my first time doing it. So I want to make sure I get it right. So I'm looking forward to that and cannot wait to show Jax and get my chip and putt on and work on that short game and get a little bit better. So I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later.